My grandma always used to tell me, upwards and onwards. And now that I am in my early 30s, I realize that this really is true. In today's society, there are constant things around us that may remind us of our past, that we're just not trying to remember. It could be your ex's clothes or CD player that they gave to you. It could be a certain song that you listen to that reminds you of the past, something that hurt you. It could be that when you go to a certain location, it can remind you of certain events that occurred there. If you go online on social media, there may be, because of the algorithm, it may show a post, some sort of status post that you posted 15 years ago on Facebook, and Facebook decides to recommend that to you. And then you just see how stupid you were 15 years ago. That's happened to me many times, where I go on to Facebook and then I just get like, oh, check out this photo of you, or check out the status of you 15, 16 years ago. And I'm like, what the hell? I really spoke like that? Those are kind of things I just don't want to remember. And then you have these websites called classmates.com that show you, I get notifications on my email about people that I knew in high school. Oh, look, this person is doing this now. This person, there's a high school reunion happening. But for me, high school wasn't all fun and games. It was alright. It wasn't something that I miss. It's not something that I miss. The point is that we gotta be able to move on from our past and start focusing on the present moment more than even the future. Because a lot of us worry too much about the future, man. We have so much anxiety about certain things, oh, my parents are getting older, who's gonna take care of them, what's gonna happen to them, well, I'm running out of time, or I need to purchase a property, I need to get married, I need to have kids, I need to find a good career before time runs out for me. All of these things, all of these thoughts go through our head, especially when we get older. We start overthinking a lot of stuff because we have this sort of mental pressure that's from society around us that causes us to become more anxious about the future. And a lot of the times we think about the past too. We think about the past mistakes that we made. Something maybe in the present reminds us of the past. Say for an example, you are trying to approach a girl, or a girl, and you're trying to ask her out and she rejects you. And then it reminds you of when you were in high school, where you used to get rejected a lot, or you got heartbroken by a girl. It's interesting how the mind works. We seem to remember more about the negative outcomes rather than the positive outcomes of our life. Even throughout the whole day, if I have a really good day, and maybe there was one tiny moment that throughout the day that was this kind of negative, or something that I perceived as something negative. When I am on my bed, when I'm about to go to bed, when I'm about to sleep, that is literally the thought that runs through my head so many freaking times. Not the positive things that happen, but just that one negative thing that occurred. So I'm thinking about the past, right? But I'm not thinking about all the positive things that happened. So if you are to think about the past, you got to try to rewire your brain into thinking about positive things. Think about the times where you laughed with your friends. Think about the times where you laughed with your family members, where you went on trips together. Do not think about the negative things, because it becomes a virus. I'm telling you, it become a habit. It's so easy to think about negative things, but it's so difficult, and it's so much of a challenge to think about the positive things, because our brain is always trying to be in a fight or flight response mode. Our brain is always trying to fix things. So it's natural for us to think negatively about a lot of things. about ourselves, about the world around us, you know, because we're always trying to fix something. That is just how our brain works. But we need to realize that some things don't need to be fixed. Some things just need to be accepted, and you just move on with your life. There's no such thing as a perfect human being, you know? And I think to remedy this problem of us constantly thinking about the past, constantly all this putting ourselves down, is to stay busy, to stay distracted. Do things that you love doing. Focus on your hobbies, you know? Do things that are positive. Stay busy, and that'll help you alleviate that problem. Because the moment we are idle, the moment we are by ourselves for too long, and we are kind of bored for too long, then we start thinking about the past. Then we start thinking about all these like negative outcomes and problems, which is not healthy. Which is not healthy at all. I also find that if you're able to do positive affirmations, like you say them out loud first thing in the morning, that actually makes a difference in your head, like your thought pattern, and you kind of start thinking about the past less, actually. By having self-talk, positive self-talk, that actually does make a big difference. I've noticed that. And when the days when I don't do it, that's when subconsciously my brain goes into like autopilot, where I start thinking about the past, the things that happened last week or the day before. You know, it's very easy and it's very comfortable to think about negative things, because not only is it comfortable, it's also very familiar. It happens all the time, right? We like to create small problems. Well, we like to make problems seem a lot bigger than what they really are. That's just how our brain works. And, you know, that's why, in my opinion, I think a lot of people, why they smoke weed, why they do drugs, is they're trying to escape from the confines of their mind. They're trying to escape from that negative mindset. That's one of the reasons why I think people do these things. But anyway, that's a bit of a different topic, but the past has no use for you. I'm gonna say that again. The past has no use for you. It really doesn't. Especially the negative outcomes that happen in the past for you. It's gone, man. Like it's too late. Yes, you can maybe learn potential lessons from it, but that's only if you are aware of it right after the event happened. If you're thinking about something that happened 10, 15 years ago, it doesn't have too much of relevance now. It really doesn't. The past does make you the person that you are today, for sure, 100%. But I think we have a problem of thinking about small events that happened in the past, and then we create bigger problems. Like our emotions start to change. You start becoming more frustrated with the world around us because you start thinking about negative things. You start becoming a victim. You start having this victim mentality because we start thinking so negative all the time. Oh, why does bad luck always follow me? Why does this shit always happen to me all the time? Why is, this and that, this and that, this and that? And then we are reinforcing. We are creating that steel wall in our brain of negativity, that it becomes so familiar. It becomes like a habit or routine to start thinking negatively. And I know people who think like this. Every time I ask them, hey, how's it going? They're always freaking complaining about something. And the reason why they're doing that is because they become so comfortable doing it. They become so comfortable complaining about the world around them, that the world is against them, that there's no hope for them to become successful. I have a friend who lives in a city right now, and every time I ask him, how's the city? Like, how's it going? He's like, hey, man, bro, the crime rate's so freaking high, man. There's no hope for us. There's no hope for us. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean there's no hope for you? Do something about it, man. Do something about your life. He's like, nah, man, and a certain demographic is the majority, and they're taking over all the businesses, all the jobs and shit like that. I was like, bro, do something about it, man. Don't just complain. Do something about it. And the problem with these kinds of people, the ones that complain all the time, is because it becomes like a virus. It can also spread on to you as well. And you're already trying to fix yourself. You're already trying to fix the negative thought pattern that you have, and you constantly thinking about the past. It doesn't make it any better that you have people around you that are also on that same path, that are also doing this as well. You cannot fight fire with fire. If you fight fire with fire, the flame will only get bigger. That's just how it works. You need to extinguish that flame of negativity in your brain by doing certain strategies that help with that. Like, as I said, positive affirmations, distracting yourself, keeping yourself busy with your passions and your hobbies. If you even journal down your negative thoughts. If you're able to journal your negative thoughts, something that you thought about in the past, and you're able to write it down, in a way, you kind of take it out of your brain. It may not be permanent, but it's a temporary way of taking it out of your brain. We need to start thinking more positive, guys. We don't have to become a positive Pete. Oh, everything's all sunshine and rainbows, even though there's meteors and asteroids coming down towards Earth and destroying all life on the planet, but it's still a positive world. I'm not thinking like that. I don't mean like that. But right, means we need to. I think we tend to think about negativity more than positivity. We don't think about the blessings that we have. We don't think about the fact that we have life, that we're alive, that we have a car, that we have a roof over our head, that we have clothes, that we have food. But then we just start complaining. We start saying all these negative things about our lives, man. Like, oh, you know what? I'm never gonna get a girlfriend because you know what? My ex cheated on me. You know what? I'm never gonna find a job that's gonna make me $6K. I'm just gonna stick with a mediocre job for the rest of my life. That's working me to death. You know, there's nothing else for me. You know, you say these things, and it'll be true. Anything you say to yourself will eventually become true. Your thoughts in your head, negative or positive, may or may not come true. But if you say these things, there's a higher chance that you'll believe that these things are true. Because thoughts come and go in our mind, right? We have like freaking millions and millions of thoughts that go through our head throughout the day. A lot of them we just tend to forget. But the ones that we tend to not forget are the negative ones. Isn't that interesting? When we don't think about that woman that gave us that was in line at the store, she was able to move out of the way for us to pay for our stuff because she saw that we only had 1 or 2 items. We never thought about that time when we went to the Starbucks or the coffee shop, and the person that was working there decided to give us a biscuit as a thank you gift, or just for you to being a good customer. We never think about the fact that we had a wonderful conversation with our mom or dad through the phone, and we had a wonderful laughter, and we joked about the wonderful memories that we made. But we don't remember. We just tend to forget about that. The things we tend to remember are the times when we got into a fight with somebody, we got into an argument, that we lost a little bit of money through investing. Those seem to be the thoughts and memories that we carry on with us. There's so much out there to be thankful for. There's so much positive things out there in your life. Despite how negative you may think your life is, there's still positive stuff if you're able to look hard enough. And when you do look hard enough, you need to stick with those things. You need to make that part of your heart. Because that is the kryptonite to the negativity, you know? That is what's going to be able to offset it.